Hi everyone, I'm Lori with craftroomtime.com and I'm here to show you how to use waterslide paper on Tumblr. This is the April subscription box. You can get more information at the end of the video. We're going to start in Design Space with a new project. We're going to upload the file and go find it on your computer. We're going to bring in the PNG file. It's going to look like this when it comes in, and you're going to hit Complex and Continue. You won't do anything on this screen, but you will see that the back is transparent, and that's what a PNG file is it has a transparent black background. So after you've selected the print and cut, go ahead and click Continue and select your design again. It'll put the green box around it, and then insert your image. When it comes in, it's all grouped together, and all we're going to do is change the size because a print and cut can only be 6.75 by 9.25. So you can do that in two different ways. You can use the lower right corner and drag, or you can use the toolbar up at the top and simply type in the height and width. You want to unlock the button there or in the bottom left corner so that you can type in the proportions, 6.75 by 9.25. And as previously mentioned, you can print this directly to your computer without using a Cricut. But if you're using the Cricut, then that's the sizing that it will allow you to cut. So the decals will be a bit smaller. So once you have that set to the right size, then all you need to do is go to Make It. I should point out that I've already put the background in behind where the Cricut will go ahead and cut around your design, so you don't have to worry about that either. So now we're just going to go up to Make It. And the file is a little bit big, so it'll just take just a few seconds to load. And you'll see that it puts the black registration marks around your design, and that's just so Cricut can see where to start cutting. It won't cut that black box. They're just called registration marks so that the little head can see where to start. So then you'll go ahead and you'll print it to your printer, and you will use a regular inkjet printer, but not an EcoTank. They will not work. An EcoTank will not work. I tried it, and I'll show you at the very end what it did. It was very discerning, so you'll see that I'm using my EcoTank, but you don't need to use it. You definitely don't want to use an EcoTank. The ink, for some reason, just doesn't work with the water slide. And you don't need the bleed, so turn that off. And you're going to use glossy photo for your printer setting. Be sure to load your printer correctly with the paper going the right way. I did it wrong the first time, so you'll see in my video it's there's printing on the back. I mean, obviously if you did it on the wrong side, you can turn it over and do it on the right side. Once it's printed, then you'll come in here and you'll select your material, and your material is going to be medium cardstock for 80 pounds. And leave the default pressure, that's fine. Using the spray that came in your kit, you're going to use it to do 3 layers of a good top coat and make sure they dry in between each layer. Okay, so we have our bowl of room temperature water, our tumbler. We'll have what we're going to put on it, selection of what we're going to put on it. I have some alcohol wipes, and I want to point out that this is a print and cut on Cricut, and this is printed out just not as a printed cut, just a regular cut. So you can see you can make it bigger if you don't use a print and cut. You just print it on your computer and then cut it out. But if you want the nice clean edges and everything to print on your Cricut, you can certainly do that as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use the alcohol wipe to wipe down the surface of my cup. Because I'll be doing this, I'm going to do all the designs on one cup just to show you. I get all the way around. Okay, and then let that dry. So you're going to let the decal sit in the water for a minute. The design is coming off of the paper and you can easily slide it, as you saw right there. You're going to take a little bit of water and I'm going to apply it to the tumbler. If it's wet, it'll have something to slide onto, which is nice. So you're going to take your water slide decal and you're going to hold it and slide it onto your tumbler. Just work slowly. Just try to get it on there. If you hold it and pull it, it'll hold onto your tumbler and slide the white out. There we go. All right, and then we're just going to gently move the decal around. This is a pretty big decal, so it's going to need a little bit of finessing. And move it around until it gets on there in the appropriate location and all of the little wrinkles are out. You have time to work with it because it's water, so it's not going to dry really fast. And just gently pull on the edges and remove the bubbles with your fingers. You can pretty much tell. Okay. I'm just pulling on the edges to get all the little wrinkles out and the bubbles out that I can fill with my fingers. Okay. This is going to be a little tricky here because I have this, the tumbler has this little ridge here, so I'll just have to work with it. So I could cut a slit in there and that will probably help it lay flatter, but I didn't do that, so I'm just telling you, you can do that. Might help a little, but I think I can finesse this out with my fingers. All right. I need to put that up, get that going that way. So I know y'all hear my Tinkerbells. It's the ring we have, just to notify us that somebody's at the door. Okay, just smoothing it out so I don't feel any more wrinkles. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more water on here because I just need a little more time to get this worked out and flat. Put a little more water over here. This one little area is giving me a little trouble because I did cut in really close to the letters. I kind of think that it's okay to have a little slit right in there, a little cut, but you don't want to have too many, otherwise you're working with this like I am, trying to get it just right. I think it's getting close. I just need to move this down a little bit and smooth this bottom out. Okay, so that worked really well. I think I feel pretty good about that. Okay, now once this is dry, there's a couple things that you can do with tumblers. You could do the epoxy and then put the water slide over it, as long as you sand the epoxy down first and get it nice and smooth. You can epoxy over this with clear so that you can see through to the design, and that will definitely hold the design on. So that looks good. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks good. I don't feel any more bubbles or creases. Feels like I got them all out, and I think it turned out pretty nice. Okay, oh, I see one little bubble right there. Get that worked out a little bit right there. I'm just slightly pushing it so the air will come out of the bubble onto the side, off the side. You can also take a paper towel and press it out. Let's see my paper towel. But I like using my fingers better anyways because you can feel it. You can feel where there's ridges. And then if you just take it and turn it, you can see if there's any bubbles that you missed. And if you did miss one and it dries, it's okay. You just take a little safety pin and pop a hole in the bubble and the air will come out. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little hole. And it'll force the air out. Let's see. I don't see any more. I think that's good. All right, then I'll let that dry. It should dry naturally out of direct sunlight for 3 hours. And if you do it on ceramics, you can cure it in the oven to dry. Only for ceramics. Heat oven to 230 degrees Fahrenheit or 110 Celsius for 15 minutes. So we're not going to do that with this because this is not ceramic. So let's speed things up a little bit and I'll show you how I did the mama bear and the best mom ever using the same steps with cleaning with alcohol and then allowing the decal to be submerged in water until it starts to separate from the paper, giving it at least a minute to do that. And then applying it to your tumbler by putting a little bit of water on your tumbler and then sliding the white paper underneath. And then follow the same steps to smooth it all out until it's exactly how you want it and no bubbles or wrinkles. And do the same thing with the words. Use your paper towel. Clean it off, get the water off, make sure there's no wrinkles or bubbles. And just make sure that the words are on there centered and straight. Okay, and then we'll do the best mom ever on the other side. And slide it off, and you saw how easy that came off. So let me show you what happened when I used the Eco Tank, the Epson Eco Tank ink. It just didn't work like what I'm doing right here. We'll call that one a blooper for sure. So I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Now this was the Eco Tank. Oh, it just, I don't know, it just made the paper like really elasticy. And I mean, I sprayed it too with the acrylic spray, just like I did the other ones. And then when I went to pull it, it just made the paper really weird. So you can see I'm really struggling to get it off the paper, and it shouldn't be that hard. So if that's happening to you, then your ink's not going to work. It's not, see how it just became really stretchy. It shouldn't do that for you. So make sure you're not using an eco tank.